Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. Guys, I don't know how to feel today. I am excited and yet sad all at the same time. We are actually having, I think, the first ever summer warehouse sale for Seint, which is awesome. 25% off a bunch of items, 40% off, and 50% off a lot of items. I'm sad because there are also a lot of items that are being on a last chance, 50% off, and they're not coming back. And I'm sad because some of my favorite shades are being discontinued. So I'm all over the place emotionally. It's fine. I'll be fine. I'm hoping that means it's just going to free up space for new exciting launches. But in the meantime, I'm going to share with you guys my must-haves from the list of everything that's on sale. So if you want to check it out, please keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And thanks for being here. Okay, friends, so I literally have to have my iPad with screenshots of all this stuff because let me just say, there is that many. I can't even possibly write them all down. It would take me forever. I feel like nobody wants to watch me show every single thing. So we're just gonna do my must-haves. But first, sale deets. Starting Wednesday, June 11th, they will be available to purchase at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Now here's the kicker. There are 25% off items, 40% off items, and then there's 50% off items. And the 50% off is last chance. And there is a lot of lip and cheeks, a lot of eyeshadows that have been like in my personal favorite palette from the very beginning. Can anyone tell me what this is? I just took it out of my personal palette. I want to cry. This is Finn, by the way. I love, and I'm wearing. So I went ahead and did a full look, and I'll show you as I go through some of these things, how I got this look with things that were on sale. So Seint told us that they are looking to simplify. There are so many SKUs on the website. If you've looked currently, it is a little overwhelming, and I definitely agree. A lot of our shades that were supposed to be limited edition are still on the website, and it's like half the time I don't know if it's on there or if it's not, and they just kind of show up on there. It can get real confusing. They're removing lower selling items to make room for more new so that they can maintain a well-rounded and versatile selection. So that being said, we're just gonna start at the top. 25% off, 40% off. These items are not leaving, they're just clearing out inventory. Only 3 highlight shades. All of them are for darker skin tones. So I was actually just asked the other day what the best highlight shade as a bronzer is. And I would say there's 2, but my favorite is what I wore today, which is Muse. I wanted to show you guys the difference. There's not a whole lot of difference, to be honest. So the only time I'd recommend going with a highlight over, say, a bronzer color is if you're looking for more coverage. So our bronzers really are very sheer. They're meant to be, and they're not meant to give coverage. But if you use a highlight shade as a bronzer, you're just getting that much more coverage in those areas you're bronzing. So this is the shade I used. This is Muse Highlight. And then I went to show you my other option. I don't use these a lot, so they're dry on top. And then this one is Fiji. So you can tell, very similar. Fiji's slightly darker. Either of these would make beautiful bronzers. They're not too orange. They are warm, but they will give coverage at the same time, which makes them really great to pick up and use on those days where maybe you want to underpaint, put a bronzer on first, get a little bit of coverage. It allows you to use less of your highlight, especially during these summer months. Again, I'm not going to swatch every single shade or this video would be forever long. But what else? Diamonds Are Forever. It's on sale, but it will come back. I actually just put this on over my lip look. I forget that I like this. And sometimes, you guys ever like forget about items like this because it's not in your palette? So I did my lips and then I forgot. So this is the very shimmery, kind of like gloss-like lipstick. It adds a little bit of glow. It's beautiful. It's on sale. A bunch of shadows that are on sale. I will go ahead and put in pictures of all of them. My very favorites. I'm going to swatch some. These are 25% off. Stardust. This shade is like, I remember when I first started as an artist, it'll be 8 years this month, that this was like one of the very first shades I would recommend people when they're starting with eyeshadow. It is the most neutral, beautiful, looks good on anybody. It's like slightly cool, but yet it's very neutral. I call it a shimmery taupe. Just put this on the lid with anything in your crease and you're good to go. So Stardust, it is coming back. Thankfully, that one is not being discontinued. Gilded, one of my all-time favorite shades, especially for fall. Butterscotch is what I have on my eyes right now, high above the hood. I will share more of ones that I think are really good for that, but I'm really sad that 3 of the other ones that I use all the time are being discontinued. Claire, you guys, my go-to lately has been mixing. If you guys have been following my videos, you might have heard me say I'm like on this kick for like a rosy, nude, brown, like a little bit of warmth, like a warm, rosy matte. I have been buying like all shadow. It's one shade that we don't have. So hopefully with this clear out, they will come out with shades that I feel like we're kind of missing in our roundup. So I also have Claire in my personal palette. I've been mixing Claire and Baba and just using that as like an all over shade. Want to deepen it, I'll just dip into Sedona a little bit, but that right there is what we're missing. If Seint's listening, that right there. So Claire is like the only kind of like mid-tone rosy shade we have. It's still gonna be here, but it is gonna be 25% off. But try mixing shades. If you've never mixed before, I just kind of dip in with my eyeshadow brush and then go straight on the lid. And when I'm like having a lazy day, I'll just take something like that all over, carve out my crease. It's just a little different than just using a bronzer all over the eye. But is that not pretty? Again, I'm just mentioning the ones that are ride or dies for me, and the other one I really love as well is Sis. That is on sale. To me, I would understand if they discontinued this one just because I feel like Soulmate is very similar, and I do feel like some of the ones that are on the list to be discontinued, it's because there are shades that are pretty close to it, so I understand that. But Sis is really great lid shade, or you can use it to kind of brighten it. It's got that pinky undertone. It's so pretty. And then 2 things that I feel like everybody needs. Brush cleaning tile, full size. Have this in every single one of my palettes. So if you don't have one, you can grab it. And then the brush cleaning soap and also the refill. So that way you can restock. This is how you deep clean your brushes. You just get them wet, swirl them in, use the little rubber guy. You can use this no matter if you are a Seint user or not. This is one of the best deep cleaning soaps for brushes I've ever used. It's fantastic. Our brushes are notoriously, you know, look dirty because they're white bristles. And this helps my OCD greatly because it makes them white again. They look brand new. Next category is 40% off. I'll put the picture. If I had to say one thing you must have, My favorite thing on that list is the hair clip. If it's the black one, I use those every single day. Every single day when my hair is wet, I use that. Other than that, you know, I'm just being honest. These are my must-haves. Nothing else on that list is a must-have for me. It's the last of the stuff that's on sale, but will be returning when it's out of stock. The next section is going to be really sad for me. Guys, there are 20 lip and cheeks. This palette is also one of the things that they're getting rid of permanently, the Isle palettes. So if you've been waiting on one, 50% off is a great deal. So this size, and then I love to keep my eyeshadow, my daily eyeshadows in the small one. But this is what I've been keeping my daily lip and cheeks, like my favorites from my collection that I could just like open up, and then this bad boy like will stand up on my vanity. It's super pretty, and I have a huge mirror. So you can put your full face in here if you don't travel a lot and need like a small compact. That's why I loved this giant compact, but I'm sad. They're getting rid of it. These are 20 lip and cheeks. 20. They're discontinuing. And Hopelessly Devoted isn't even, it is also not coming back. It's currently out of stock, but it would have been in this, so it would have been one more. So I will obviously put in a swatch picture of all of them, but I'm going to share with you what I would consider must-haves from this, because I'll be honest, two of the shades I wear all the time and is always in my personal collection, depending on the season, two of them are being discontinued. So again, I'm still processing. All right, for this look, I'll show you what I did, but I used Tiger Lily. You guys, I've been obsessed with this shade ever since it came out, and I know it's scary, but I don't put it on to this pigmentation. It just brightens the skin unlike any other, and it is a matte, meaning it really stays. This one, to me, stays so well. It is a drier formulation, so I feel like it's easy for me to not pick up too much when I tap in because it's just a little bit dry. Dry is not necessarily a bad thing. When something is dry, it holds better on the skin. So that's Tiger Lily. To me, it's just like a bright coral. I feel like people look at it and they're like, it's orange. It's not orange. It's so pretty and it's perfect for summer. I'm sad. If you like a pop, I promise you will like that shade. If you are anti-warm at all, then go for Pink Lemonade. I use this just on the apple of my cheeks. This one is also matte, but a lot creamier. And so a little bit, I don't know, not saying it's more pigmented, but it's easier to pick up more of. And it is just like the perfect, cool, bright summer pink. So if you like cool, this one is really good. And again, matte, so it has great longevity. The other one I use for this look, this will not surprise you. Look at the pan. I hit pan. This one is always. Now, Bax had it permanently back when we were still called mascara. Then it came back and it was limited edition. Then it went away. Then they brought it back and I was like, yay. Literally so happy. It's one of my favorite shades ever and like the perfect fall shade. So I know it's not fall, but I don't know how many of these they have like left, and I don't know how long these will last. Like this might be because they're almost out of stock. Trust me guys, I wish I knew more, but this is a gloss. It is made with Gilded Eyeshadow and Desert Sunset. It was originally an artist concoction, so it's got that shimmer in it. But like the tone, there is no other tone like this in our entire collection, which is why it makes me so sad, because it really does add like dimension and warmth to the face without ever being pulled too orange or anything, because it's warm, but it's like a warm red, right? It's like a burgundy. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'm gonna have withdrawals. I will continue to wear this, so we'll have to pry it out of my cold dead fingers. I'm sorry for all of you who see this after the sale and missed out. I swear, get this shade. Everybody loves it. It can be very sheer. You can build it up. And I like to add it for a little bit of glow as well, because we don't have a lot of shimmery shades. But they're my favorite. And then the other one, I'm kind of shocked. I'll be honest, there are a bunch that were from the Christmas release. So there was Marrakesh, which would be beautiful this summer. I feel like people just, this isn't necessarily a Christmas shade, right? And so when it was released over Christmas, I feel like people didn't pick it up because it was like not the right season, right? That's a summer shade. Same goes with Strawberry Shortcake. This is the other one I use. This one again is kind of like corally. I wore this on my lips. And it's a beautiful, almost more sheer gloss. And it's kind of just gives that like kiss of warmth and color and a little pop, but it's not too bright to like wear, you know what I mean? Not on its own. It looks scarier in the 10. And I feel like a lot of these just didn't get a chance to be shared because it's just now coming to the time of the season where people actually want to wear these colors. And I'll be honest, at Christmas, I didn't want to wear them. That's why Cabaret as well, I feel like a beautiful, like deeper red. Anyway, that would have been beautiful for fall. They just got released the wrong season, in my honest opinion. But the one that shocks me the most is Daylily. This is like the most beautiful neutral. A lot of our nudes pull cool. So if you've ever tried any of our nudes and they just pull a little gray, it's because they just need a touch more warmth, and this had it. It just has like a touch of pinky peachy tone to make it, and I'm gonna swatch it up here, to make it more wearable and less gray, and it just is a beautiful nude. It's so pretty, and I'm so sad because our line definitely needed a shade like this, and it's, yeah, maybe I'm just gonna be hopeful that maybe they created something even better. Maybe there's a new release coming. I wish I knew. I don't know anything, guys, but Daylily, I would snag her. If you are my tone or lighter, it looks very natural on me, like just a kiss of color and dimension, but like darker than me, you'd probably not be able to see it. It'd be a little light for you as a nude. Another one I don't feel like got a shot is because, I'll be honest, we got this as a gift. This is called Over the Rainbow. We got it at the last conference, and we were never told that it was actually going to be available. So I don't think people knew or knew how much was left. So no one shared it. And it is a beautiful red, and it's kind of like, it's a very wearable red. It's very, I don't know. I'm trying to think how it's different pink than some of our other ones. Like it's a very true red, and we really didn't get to share it at all, but it's available in case you want to snag it before it's gone forever. Compared to Cabaret, which is way more of like a deeper red, and you can kind of see the difference in tone between those. Okay, I promise I'm gonna stop. One more. Candy. If you're a cool tone girly and you love a gloss, this color on the lips is so pretty, especially with a warm liner. So there you go. So obviously, many more. So grab them while you can. So the next one is 50% off eyeshadows. And again, I have thoughts. So first I'm gonna swatch some of the neutrals. I will say, in looking at this list and knowing like it was things that weren't selling. I can see why some of them we have similar shades and some of them are bold shades, and I can tell people like their neutrals. I get it. I love my neutrals, but there are also some really amazing and some of my very favorite shades. So I did this eye look, and I will put the details here. Here are the shades that make outstanding neutrals, whether you want to use multiple shades or you're just looking for like 2-shade eye look and you just want to like pop a matte in the crease and a shimmer on the lid. So I already swatched, I'm gonna swatch them over here so we can see all of them. I already swatched Stardust. Okay, Stardust is only 25% off, but it's not going away forever. The next one is Snowbird, which was just part of our Mother's Day collection. I love this shade. And in fact, when I'm looking at all these, one of my favorite looks to create is a bronzy eye. And all of the shades I use for my bronze eye looks are going away. And I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand. So that's Snowbird, which is on my eye. I kind of did an ombre with like light, medium, and then dark bronze, and it's fantastic. I love this color, and it looks gorgeous even just on the lid. Sometimes I will just use it along the lash line to like give a smoky bronze eye. I don't know. I don't get it, because this one I always thought was similar to Finn, just a little bit lighter. And now I don't know what I'm gonna use. Mirror was just one of our shades of the season. It is a peachy nude in my opinion. Still very neutral. And so was Ember, which is a little bit more of a gold, which I also guess I'm shocked because there are so many gold shades on this list. Even Blondie, which is staying, every gold tone we have. And I'm like, I love wearing golds on the eye. Am I a minority? Ember, one of my very favorites. Thank the Lord, my favorite of all time, Bright Eyes, is not getting discontinued, or you might see tears on camera. So since we have those, I guess I can live, because it is very similar to Ember in my opinion. And then Foxy, I guess Hot Chocolate is similar. So if you have that one, it's just a little bit different. So this is what's on my eyes with Snowbird and Finn. And it's just a beautiful neutral. It's just a brown shimmer. It's not too gold. It's not too pink. It's not too light or dark. I love that shade. So sad. Gold Digger, which is a little bit more gold. Again, I love it. I love golds though. So if you don't like golds at all, maybe these all kind of lend a little gold, and maybe I am a minority, because this next shade is one of my all-time favorites. And I would have never thought so until I actually put it on my eyes. And if you have hazel eyes like mine, they will pop. And that's Ginger. I love that. I love it on the eyes. Like, it is gorgeous, especially with a tan. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue to be slightly better. Finn is also on my eyes. This is the shade that's been in my personal compact since, well, 8 years. It was one of the original shades, and it is still one of my all-time favorites because it's dark enough that I can use it along the lash line. It still gives depth, but it is a shimmer, but it is a dark shimmer, so it doesn't increase the look of texture. I used it in my outer corner, did not emphasize my very mature eyes, and it gives the most beautiful bronze look, and you can also do it along the lash line, kind of smoke it out, and it's like the fastest, easiest bronze eye. I have this one on my eyes for like my inner half, put this on the outer half, and then I put this into the outer corner and a little bit on the lower lash line. I love these colors. If you like metallic neutrals, you can't go wrong with any of those, in my opinion. There are so many eyeshadows I haven't even like pulled them all, but there are a lot of bright tones, okay? So like some of these limited edition ones. I do want to show the ones that I tend to use up above my crease to blend out. I like warmth. I feel like there's something, this is kind of like, it mimics the look of a bronzer. And if you have a lot of lid space like me, then you know just going right into the crease and just barely over, sometimes you have this kind of harsh line that needs to be blended out. These are my go-tos, okay? So I'm wearing Butterscotch right now. This is a little bit warmer and darker than Bubba. So this is what is up here to kind of blend that out. That's where you kind of see that touch of warmth. My eyes need it. Like I just need it. And these were my other 3 favorites. And all 3 of these are going away. So Tangerine, and again, these look brighter, but like when you shear them out on, like, I'm just gonna grab this brush. When you just kind of shear them out and are just kind of giving a light touch, all it does is kind of like, you see that? Kind of opens the eye, especially if you're doing a lot of neutrals or cool tones. It kind of just like lifts a little bit. And so it's not like gonna look like it does in the tin. All right, so this is Tangerine. And then we have Leo, which is a little bit of a darker orange almost. Again, I think these oranges just scare people, and I'll be honest, it scared me at first too until I actually tried it. And then one of my favorite shades ever, Havana. This one is a beautiful in the summer, and it's lighter, so it works so well. It's almost just like peachy. It's a very light coral. Like I could go to town wearing this shade. Like so much. And then this brush is one of them that is also not coming back. The Blur in, I believe it's both the gold and the rose gold. So I have black because it was an artist thing, but like the Blur brush, this brush is amazing for eyeshadow. So the blending end, you can kind of just wash it there. And then this end is really good for outer corner or packing on color. It's like a mini smudge brush. This is a great brush. So if you need an eyeshadow brush, that one is really good. If you're lighter than me, Valencia is like a lighter version of these. And this was one of those mattes that everyone just loved to kind of throw on the lid if you're a matte girly. It's a beautiful lid shade, as was Paris, one of the softest shades ever. Really great for light skin tones. So this would be like warm. This would be if you like cool tones. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can go through all these. Okay, I did put another shade on my lash line, and that was Spell. So both Spell and Eternal make really great liner shades. So I went in with Spell. This reminds me a lot of Revival, to be honest. Where can I swatch it? Like very similar. So if you've been wanting Revival, this one's gonna be half off. So I can see why it's not coming back. We have something very similar. Eternal is also really pretty. Deeper, a little bit more burgundy plum, and this one's a little bit more brown. Oh, man. Pomegranate, even more burgundy, less neutral than those two. And then Eve, which was always kind of reminded me of those, but has a little bit of shimmer to it. And if you have Ken, it's like a more burgundy version of Ken. Ken's a little bit more purple. Again, these tones are my jam. Like, I love all these. I do see some similarities with some we already have, but I still really like them. Mihija, which was a very beautiful, like, fuchsia tone. And then Holly, which I also really loved, but I do feel like it was very similar to Zion, just a little bit more pigmented, a little bit darker. That was a horrible swatch. Let's try that again. Just like a warm kind of brick red, but also very neutral. And then Moscow, and I've always said this shade just doesn't get love because it doesn't look accurate on the website. It never has, because it's actually quite pretty and sheer and a beautiful shimmer, but it looked like orange. It's not. It's really pretty. Just a couple more. I can't help myself. As You Wish, another one. Website can't do it justice because it's just doesn't translate in a picture. This is the one that looks yellow, but it actually has this holographic iridescent purple shift to it. Let's see if we can pick it up on camera. Maybe. Can you see that? It kind of reminds me of our illuminator Starlit that does that. It's really pretty. It almost like shows purple shimmer. And then another one that we didn't know was going to be sold individually was Oz. Again, this came from our conference and extremely, extremely deceiving because it looks mint green. And to me, this is one of those like shifty ones that's actually way more wearable than you'd think because it almost just has that gold and very light minty green shift. You mainly see a shimmer, but you don't see that green pigment like you see in the pan. You just see that. It's very duochrome like, okay? So, but it definitely has way more, like this is a very finely milled shift, and this one, you can probably see on camera, is a lot more of a chunkier type shimmer, although I would not say it looks chunky like some of our other shades. It's a finely milled, it's just a different kind of formulation in general. Gosh, so many more that I feel like I can't even. Cream eyeshadows, all glitters, like the real glitters, all of them. Oh, I forgot, did I forget to swatch this? Rigoletto. I did forget to swatch this. This one I've always thought was very similar to Finn. A little bit more gray, less warm. So if this is too bronzy, this one's a little bit more gray based. If you look at the difference, this is Rigoletto, this is Finn. Again, so hard to tell in the tin. But a lot of the greens, all the blues, I think. From what I can see, I will swatch them all and obviously put them in here, but yeah, purples, all the glitters. So I'm really curious to see what's coming next because they're getting rid of a lot of the fun shades, the really bold shades, and a lot of great neutral shimmers, which I don't know. Time will tell, I guess. And then last chance miscellaneous category section. Let's go into this palette. We have 5 powdery illuminators and they're all going as well. So I want to swatch those real quick just so you guys, in case you haven't seen them in a while. All right, take 2. Starlit, do you see that? Kind of like purple iridescence. These are all powder illuminators. I'm not a huge powder girl. I did put on Georgia to highlight inner corner under brow. They make a great highlight for that because they are very like brightening. But then I put Photoshop on my cheeks. They definitely catch the light. You just have to be really, really light-handed. I think one of these tins will last you forever. I don't think I've ever gone through an entire one. But they also make really great eyeshadows because they're just beautiful shimmer powders. So Starlit, then we have Glamazing, then we have Georgia. So Glamazing is like an icy white blinding, think blinding highlight. Georgia's very like, think peachy tone, not quite so gold. It's much more of like a champagne shimmer To me, it is the most wearable on most skin tones. And then Photoshop, which is probably my favorite for the face because it's got that pinky undertone. Again, very wearable. So it's very much like, if you like Angel as a cream, you would like Photoshop. And then Goldie, which is very similar to Blondie eyeshadow, which is coming back. It's just on sale. So, you know, you could always use an eyeshadow for an illuminator, especially now that we have some of these marbled shades. They make great illuminators. Like, this is one of our marbles, that cashmere. This would probably look very similar, you know, really finely milled. And these are very blinding for a powder highlight. So if you want to use something like that on the eyes for an eyeshadow, they do have multi-purpose. But then also we have another 7 of our perfumes. So as you probably remember, they're all in, did I swatch here? They're all in rose gold cream illuminator, and they have all kinds of different scents. Ooh, that one smells good. What was that? I forget. We've had so many perfume launches. I do really like using these because they do smell really good, but I forget which one's in my palette and switching them out and whatnot. I will say my favorite of all time is number 3. That's what I put on in this video. And I suck at describing scents. So you can look on the website. Every one of them should have a description. And then there are also some palettes if you want to stock up. This giant one that I've kept my eyeshadow in for many, many years. It's a triple. The Onyx Solid Black. This one's going on sale. I already said the hard case ones with the giant mirror. Silver 4 through 27. So like every size. If you're needing a palette just to like keep overstocking, there's gonna be a lot of options. All 3 lip conditioners. I know we have balm and we have all like the lip whip and all those different things, but if you liked the lip conditioners, I know some people really liked them. Cherry, peppermint, and vanilla are all going by. I've got charcoal microfiber rounds, which are my go-to every morning when I'm using my micellar water to cleanse. They're going away. And the white microfiber cloths. A couple things you guys might not recognize. It says Heart Compact. This is solid metal, very heavy. I could not find my Over the Rainbow. It's because it was in this. We got this at the Wizard of Oz themed conference last year, and this bad boy holds 1, I put a lip and cheek in it, but 1 full-size 10, and it's very cute. I'm guessing they just had extras. It's very heavy though, so just know that it's solid metal. But if you see that on the website, and then the shine paper, I don't think the case, well, I'm guessing the case is going away if the shine paper is going away forever. That makes me sad because I love this for the summer. They work really well, but I mean, I guess there's other brands that have them probably cheaper, but they do have the case. I love it, especially if you get oily or just want to blot. I keep those in my car. You saw me put on the powder illuminator with the wash brush. I'd say this is probably my least used brush of all brushes. So it doesn't make me that sad, but if you need a brush for powder like that, this brush works really well. I think the blend brush originally was designed for powder illuminators, and then all of us started using it for a really natural makeup look, and then obviously this was designed for Demi, and then we no longer use Demi for a full face, so the wash brush is going away. It makes a great powder illuminator brush because you want something really loose bristles to pick up that powder, or it will look far too metallic and heavy. You just want to avoid that. I already went over the blur brush, which has this beautiful dome in. This is also one of the best brushes to nose contour with because it's nice and dense. So I'm sad about that because that's great. But if you want to hear what I'm most sad about, there's 2 things on this miscellaneous section. that I'm like, say what now? I don't know if I can handle that. And you guys probably know because for the past 8 years, I have only applied, and I have tried every one of them, don't get me wrong, but I only apply my powder with the powder brush. This brush, when I discovered it 8 years ago, was like a game changer for me because before I was using, you know, like loose bristle brushes or whatever. And even now as I'm a little bit better and I understand the idea of pressing on brushes, powder brushes are always just, I don't know, shaped differently. This was the only brush I'd ever really used that was dense and had this like flatness to where I could touch my powder and then touch exactly where I wanted to set. And it was a game changer because it gave me control. Whereas powder is one of those things I'm noticing, especially as I age, if I don't get the right amount, no matter the powder, because with powder, the formulation matters and the amount you use matters. If I don't get the right amount, I look 10 years older and I still need to set under my eyes, and it helps kind of blur that area and kind of knock down the shine. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I never used the other end and I didn't care, but I love this brush. I would tap in, tap on under my eyes, swipe in. One swipe on my lid was perfect to set my eyes before eyeshadow. So I might go through withdrawals, or you might see me use this brush forever, no matter what, if you can't get it. I mean, because I don't know. Have you guys ever seen another brush like this? If so, let me know, because I'm so sad. The way this, I always said, it's like you can press it into your pores. I know it's not going into your pores, but you know what I mean? It keeps oil at bay longer when you press on powders. And I just don't feel like a sponge presses on powder in the same way, because I'm sure that's gonna be, you know, what I have to do, but I'm sad. So both the rose gold and the gold powder brush, which is all of them. And then last but not least, our only lip liner. We only had one. This is suede. You can tell though, since this launched, guys, that's how much I've used of this 10. So I'm gonna be incredibly optimistic and say maybe it's because they're going to relaunch some of these things differently or with more variety or intention. No one needs a full size 10 worth of lip liner because it lasts so long. Like a half a 10 would be perfect and give us other tones, because this is too warm for some skin tones. Some people, it's not the most universal shade. It works, but who only can wear one lip liner for all skin tones, right? So fingers crossed it's coming back better than ever. Hopefully this intentional shift will only better our selections, give us some new options. But I'll be honest, there's a lot on sale. There's a lot. It's very overwhelming. So I hope that this video could kind of narrow it down a little bit. If there was anything you have questions on, whether I would or wouldn't recommend it, that I didn't talk about, just holler at me in the comments. I'd be happy to help. One thing I will note that I forgot to say earlier is that everything that is last chance, AKA 50% off and not coming back, will be taken off the website July 31st. So anything that's left. Again, I don't know how long some of these things are gonna last. There might not be a lot of units left and they might sell out on day one. So get them while you can. And then again, make sure you're checking that website before July 31st to see if anything's left that you must have. The 25 to 40% off categories that are coming back just on sale, that sale will end June 17th. I just know I'm gonna go back through this list when I start swatching everything and realize I forgot to talk about something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that the first time, because I keep looking it over and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's just so many shades that I'm like, which one's that? Like my brain's not working because it's summer. Feel free to help everyone in the comments. What are your very favorite shades? What are you so sad is going away, or what's on sale that is a must for everybody to snag? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Love you.